I see nothing.
Now we're live.
Nothing. Hey,
it's Monday Movie Club on a Tuesday.
How about that? And
we've got a new background logo thing up here.
You know, it's all fancy. I'm getting all sorts of notifications on my phone that you've gone live, so that makes it really official.
And we're gonna change a few things.
We are going to change it up tonight. We're going to have a little fun, but as always, we will be talking movies, and as always, we want people to join us as we deep dive into some film fun.
Yes, and so tonight's movie. Well, first off, we're changing the name
of what we're doing on Monday/Tuesday nights. Yes. It is now no longer Monday Movie Club, because this way we have the ability to change nights anytime we want to. It's just going to be the Eridan Film Festival, which seems really appropriate. It seems exactly where we want to be. I
like that. We'll go with yellow.
All right. So you play the blurry graphic.
Here's our new graphic. I'm going to do the alternate version.
Yeah, do the alt.
All right, here we go. We're going to start the show now. The production, we have spared no expense on the production quality.
Definitely, we have always spared no expense. And not as long, so you don't have to wait quite so long. You can no longer run to the bathroom during the intro, at least for the film. It's like modern movies where the credits are very short now. The opening sequence is very short, just to want to keep your attention. So here we are with some fun conversation to talk about Steve Martin's The Man with Two Brains. Now,
this is what we're going to do tonight.
Yeah, it'll be a fun conversation. So if you've seen the movie, get ready. We'll have a link for you in a little bit where you can join the conversation and throw in your 2 cents if you've seen this movie. If you've just want to talk about Steve Martin's career, anything I think related somewhat to this movie would be just fine. As Adam Jones says, there goes the budget. And yes, Dave, that does mean the end credits will go on for 10 minutes. So get ready for that.
Yes, and it is now the Eridan Film Society for our snooty friends.
Yes, exactly right. Well, that's the membership card you can get for $9.95 a month.
Now, I made a mistake. Oh, I should probably put my microphone on. I made a mistake.
Oh, I'm hoping your mistake is the same mistake I made.
It was a Rob Reiner film, but it's actually a Carl Reiner film.
What is a Carl Reiner film? So we've had 2 Rob Reiner films, and this was a Carl Reiner film. That's not the mistake I made. The mistake I made when we first, your mother suggested this movie, and when this movie first came up, and she suggested this, I thought this movie was All of Me.
Right, that's what I said.
Okay.
I said, isn't that the one where he says, Edwina Beckenbauer?
Yeah, no. But also a Carl Reiner comedy with Steve Martin that came out the very next year.
Yes, it's almost the same movie, really.
There's some similarities. So I was like, Man with Two Brains, that has to be, with Rita. No, who's in All of Me? Dave says he likes All of Me more.
All of Me was Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin, thank you. And I was tempted to watch All of Me after I watched The Man with Two Brains, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to get confused during the conversation, and this would be better to keep focused, somewhat focused at least. This is honestly, if I've seen this movie before, I have no memory of seeing this movie before.
See, I remember a lot of things like Anna Milmahay and Dr. Har.
Right.
I mean, their names are very memorable.
Well, what's funny to me is that I remember, and I mentioned this on Friday when we were talking Friday, was that I have memories of my family quoting this movie. Like I remember my oldest sister at some point in her life.
Into the mud, scum queen!
Making reference to this line.
Dave nailed it right as you were saying it.
See, there you go. How about that, right? So and there are a lot of very quotable lines from this movie. And that was The Man with Two Brains that have
my balls.
Which which I'm sure is a line that Kathleen Turner is asked to repeat all the time at conventions.
Well, what's crazy with Kathleen Turner, this was her second movie.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And when they put her, not to ruin the ending if you haven't seen it, but when she's in a fat suit later,
Yes.
well, I mean, she also aged a lot since then. So,
Yes.
but I mean, you just think of what, I mean, she did Body Heat, obviously. That was a huge one.
Right.
But then she did Romancing the Stone, Crimes of Passion, Prizzi's Honor, Jewel of the Nile. Peggy Sue Got Married.
She was 28 in this movie.
Yeah.
Which now would be the end of an actress's career.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but she was playing the hot, you know, lead lady in this movie, you know. And yeah, she went on to have an amazing career after this.
War of the Roses, as Dave just mentioned.
And Steve Martin was 9 years older than her in this movie, so he was 38. And he hadn't had a lot of movies before this either. He had a lot of television. But I think this is fourth movie for him.
I think it's a little later than that. I could be wrong. Let's look.
I think you're wrong.
Let's not forget Kathleen Turner was Chandler Bing's dad, wasn't she? On Friends?
Oh my gosh, I think you might be right about that. So let me see if we go back to Steve Martin's career.
You have The Jerk was his first movie.
Right.
And then you've got Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. The Winds of this is his third feature film.
Yeah,
he also wrote this as well.
This is pretty early on, you know. I mean, and obviously, you know, an amazing career for Steve Martin. What I have said a lot since watching this movie is the realization that I really love Steve Martin. I don't always love Steve Martin movies. You know, for me, his movies it's very uneven for me. Like sometimes I'm all in and sometimes I'm just observing. But I feel like, you know, there's an intelligent Steve Martin and then there's the zany Steve Martin, and depending on which one of those you like, depending on you know. And this is definitely zany. But again, there are excellent moments in this movie.
Well, I mean, his first three were definitely Carl Reiner directed movies.
Yes. So he had definitely gotten himself in. And I mean, you can't go wrong with Carl Reiner.
And he wrote most of the movies. I mean, John Landis did Three Amigos. He was one of the writers on that.
Correct.
Roxanne, he wrote. LA Story, he wrote.
I adore. You know, I haven't seen Roxanne in a long time, but I do love Roxanne.
Bowfinger, he wrote. The Pink Panther, he wrote. Wait a minute, does he not like work in a movie that he didn't write?
Well, it could be. I mean, bottom line is, the question is, are they giving him writing credits for what he comes up with on set? Is he the sole writer or is he just a writer? That's
true. And again, I was looking at the writers thing.
Did he come up with?
I'm Dr. Hopper. Dr.
Because
actually, I was again looking at the writing credits first instead of the acting credits. So it's not his third movie.
Not his third.
Well, he was in the Muppet movie. He was in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Yeah, But
the movies that were his first, and Dave actually got it right. Pennies from Heaven.
Yeah. So as a lead, you know, I mean, as being actually the actor in the movie. I mean, he was in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band for 3.5 minutes.
Right. And now Dr. Michael Hapar. Wow, Adam does not like this movie.
Oh my! Wow.
The movie with 2 laughs. Well, at least you laughed twice, Adam. But Dr. Hafar, Hfurhurr.
How else would you say that?
Yeah, of course.
I'm Dr. Hopper.
Now, can I get you anything else, Doctor? I'm about to retire.
Really? You seem so young.
So, yeah, I mean, as Dave says, this was near the end of the zany period. And he did get into some more. I mean, there was obviously a zany, you know, obviously Three Amigos is not your sophisticated comedy, but, you know,
Now, in the comments section of the post I put earlier, not of the live show, I don't know if he's watching, but Pittsburgh native comedian, game show host to the stars, Frank Nicotero, commented, "Get that cat out of here." Every time he's doing surgery, he's like, "Get that cat out of here."
Oh, the cats.
Which I think was a very funny callback.
There are some great bits. I mean, what's funny is it's almost a funnier movie the more you think back on it than actually as you're sitting through it. What's funny is that there are lots of references and things that I've thought of since then that I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. But while I was actually watching it, I don't know how many times I laughed out loud. And He's now posted the link. So I know everybody's super anxious, waiting for the link to jump in and share your opinions of this movie. And also we're going to start talking about how we're going to be picking movies from now on. So we want to make sure everybody sticks around for that. We will be talking, and everybody in the comments is absolutely going to want to be part of this conversation as we go forward. Now, there was a line from Kathleen Turner later in the movie that she shared a little maybe R-rated comments. She called Dr. Harfar a couple of wildly inappropriate things.
What did you call him?
You don't remember?
I don't think I remember.
I'll get you! I'll get you for this! I'll get you for this!
And then she says something right after that.
He was Jewish?
Huh?
Is he Jewish?
Remember this? You don't remember this?
I'll get you! I'll get you for this! I'll get you for this, you nigger kike wop!
Oh, wow.
Yeah, how about that?
Wow. How did I miss that?
The part that made me go, 1983.
Wow.
Things you might not put in a movie in 2000.
Wow.
You missed that totally.
Somehow that, I must have been watching the airline version.
Dave says you missed that? I had to go back and watch it over and over and over. It was right before.
Into the mud, scum queen!
Oh, I had it while I was working, so I probably missed a little bit of it.
You see, this is the problem. If you're distracted, you don't get the full experience.
I guess I screwed up.
Yeah, you missed that one. And here comes the darn cat right now.
Well, let me change the background so we have it balanced. There we go.
Bring it out.
Get that cat out of here.
Yeah, you're right. It's almost more quotable than it is funny.
Yes, right? It's like the more I've thought back on it, it's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I can see that if I brought that up, and people knew what I was talking about, that might be funny.
19th century Indian rubber vase, eh?
That was funny. I mean, there are definitely a lot of little. I mean, first off, the title of the movie is wrong.
Yes, I think that's what we were all thinking. This was All of Me,
right? Because he basically had another personality. I'm like,
right.
And the whole time watching, I'm like, when does she get into his head?
To me, the reason All of Me is better is because he had a second comedian or even a third comedian to play off of. Because the guy that plays the guru and Lily Tomlin, it makes for a much better dynamic. Whereas this, Kathleen Turner's excellent, but she's not a comedian.
Right.
Steve Morton is really carrying the comedy for the entire movie.
I agree.
Now, I'm guessing have you both read the trivia already?
No, actually, I've stayed out of all of that today.
Okay, Eric, do you know who was the voice of Anna Melmahay?
I don't. Was it Matthew Perry? No, I don't.
It was not Matthew Perry.
It was June Carter Cash.
It was Ray Pepper. Not good.
It was Ray Pepper. You're right. It was Kathy Louder. Hey, Kathy. Kathy hasn't been on. See, Tuesday night, we get a whole new audience.
Tuesday night. Who would have thought? Maybe this is the key. So who was the voice of Miss?
It was Sissy Spacek.
It was Carrie.
I had no idea. When Adam Jones knew that, I did not know that.
Yeah.
How about that? I just want to know where you get the lighted jars to hold your brains.
I know they're also well lit and
I thought they
moving and pulsating.
LED. I mean, that's
Hey, Futurama borrowed it.
I also like how crappy how paper thin the walls were.
That was a good bit,
that
yeah.
was a great bit with the condo.
And borrowing the lady's battering ram.
Oh, here.
Yeah,
So the funny.
bring it back.
So and again, if you have not seen this movie, I guess spoiler, but it's from 1983. You're probably
There's
not.
no spoiler alerts in this.
And
on
you're
this
tuning
show.
into a movie night to discuss a movie. So
Well, that's a very good point as well. For me, it was like it was all okay until Merv Griffin, and that just upped it like 10 extra points for me.
it had some great moments. It did.
Yeah, it did.
Not
See,
enough.
that I remembered.
See, I was not prepared for that. I could not remember. Honestly, I said I think I've seen it in pieces, and maybe I watched it once, but maybe it was 1984. So 14-year-old me saw it.
It also had the most nudity, I think, of any movie you've watched yet.
There was a breath.
There's much nudity. I mean, Airplane had about the same amount.
Airplane Edge had the one scene that lasted maybe a second or two. This had one scene when he was operating, and then it had the more elongated scene where he's looking for a body.
Oh yeah,
Bran.
That is also that's very true. I forgot all about that one. Yes, absolutely.
is it my voice?
Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind.
Did you notice the name of the window cleaner?
Pain in the Glass.
Oh,
Pain in the
I did see that. I did see Pain in the Glass. That was almost as good as the Spaceballs jam that came
Well,
flying.
except that it was subtle. They didn't. They never. If it had been Mel Brooks at Space, and Spaceballs era, they would have had him holding up a big bottle of it in front of the camera for 5 seconds.
Would have been. Hey, what brand is that? Oh, it's Pain in
Pain
the
in the Glass. Hey, that's the brand I use.
Glass. Exactly.
And then they do like a camera take, like, you too should use Pain in the Glass, available at better stores everywhere, and then go back into it. What I thought was weird is when that was in the trivia section, it's like you have to pause it really quickly to see it. I'm like, you really don't have to pause it. Here's an amazing thing. This movie was not done in stereo.
Oh,
It's mono.
That
well,
is.
that's it's sort of an homage to old, not as much as Young Frankenstein is, but it's somewhat an homage to old horror films. So I can see that.
Yeah, it's interesting that there's not a lot of likable characters in this movie. It's one of the things that I was taking away from it. That when he's out to find a body, it sort of struck me that it's like I'm not really rooting for anybody.
Well, there's Anna Melday.
It's true. That is very true. That is
She's the most likable, and maybe the butler to a degree.
I do
Oh
like.
yeah, Mr. Bentley.
Yeah, he's fabulous.
I love when he's carrying the new door over.
Yes,
And he runs through.
yep, just goes right back. He's done this a million times.
Yeah, the doors were fantastic. I will say I did enjoy that.
Do you recognize my name?
John Lillison.
Listen,
Yes.
I do not know.
England's greatest one-armed poet.
What?
That was the author of the poems he was reading.
Oh, that's right. Wow, you really went obscure.
Promise me you'll never read. I'll never read these to anyone else. Like the very next scene, he's reading it to Kathleen.
And I love when he's like, just give me a sign, anything. It's like, no! All right.
Just give
Okay,
me.
my mom just fessed up.
Comment on
Think of all of me also.
ever heard. That makes it all so much better. Well, maybe we'll get all of me into the running sometime here.
I did comment that it was
so.
interesting that Dan's mom chose the movie that has the most nudity and arguably the most sex jokes that I've seen in any of the movies.
Hey, she's with it.
Hey, it's my mom.
Been around the block.
Exactly, right? Absolutely. So did
So,
this full?
is this our first Steve Martin movie?
It was. Would you say it was successful? I mean, I didn't get to look at the box office for this one.
I'm
That's
sure
a
it did
good question.
okay. I mean, this was Steve Martin at probably his peak popularity. This is when he was still doing stand-up, and he was still appearing, regularly on Saturday Night Live, doing Wild and Crazy Guy.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So what would
It
you
was
say?
filmed in Pasadena, California.
Now, Lonely Guy that followed this up, as I recall, was a box office bomb
Mm.
with Charles Grodin, which was a very weird sort of. Yeah, it's hard to describe.
So I'll open up a comment to both of you and to everybody in the comment section. Here's my question: what is your favorite Steve Martin movie? I don't think many of us are pointing to this one, but I'm very curious what people, when they think of a great Steve Martin movie, what is the movie they think of?
To me, the most complete. In other words, it's just a great movie from beginning to end. It doesn't rely on pure shtick. It's well written. It's well acted. It's well cast. It'd probably be Roxanne.
I haven't seen Roxanne in so long. Yeah.
Whereas
I'm
I
gonna go
really
with
love
Father of
Three
the-
Amigos.
I think Father of the Bride.
That's only partly a Steve Martin movie.
True.
Yeah,
You're the
but he is the father of the bride.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm saying for Three
Title
Amigos.
character.
Yes. Father of the Bride, yeah. See, when I see Father of the Bride, because I love the Spencer Tracy one. So I just, you know, and I'd be like
Look, my
watching
mom
Pink
said it's
Panther one.
great.
Father of the Bride. There's another
She heard me say it.
interesting.
The
I
original
Now, by the way,
Spencer
we're not
Tracy
thinking.
was
We're thinking of Parenthood, but that's okay.
Cheaper by the dozen too. Not the
Oh,
first.
they're great. No, I was thinking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Sorry, I got that wrong.
Pink Panther 2. No, I really do. I enjoyed LA Story and Leap of Faith a lot, which I know were not huge.
LA Story more than Leap of Faith for me. Leap of Faith,
Leap
I
of
don't
Faith
know.
definitely weird.
Yeah.
Definitely weird. But I don't know. It was just, I don't
And I
know.
really do like All of Me. I mean, it was, to
Yeah.
me, that's one of his, probably top 5.
It's just interesting that this came along a year after, right?
Mm-hmm.
That All of Me came along a year after this movie, a year after
Mm.
with Two Brains.
There you go.
You know,
Yeah.
and I have yet to see. That's my sister, and I really do want to see It's Complicated. It's on my watch list now.
Like I said, it's one of your sister's definite go-tos. It's one of her favorites. It's one when she's in a mood, she just wants to watch something enjoyable that she doesn't have to stress how will it end. She knows how it'll end. She just loves to watch it. And we
Yeah.
all have movies like that. That's one that she'll reach for.
See what I
Ray
love.
Pepper says Roxanne was great. The Jerk, but most memorable is hands down Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, but he had a very small role in that.
True.
But the dentist scene will never be forgotten. Bib.
It will never be forgotten. I
I
agree.
forgot the bib.
I feel like Steve Martin is like your thinking man's comedian. Like even if he's doing a pratfall, you can tell he's thought about the science of what's going to make it funny.
But even in Little Shop of Horrors, even the dentist scene with Steve Martin, Bill Murray is funnier in that scene.
Yeah.
So
That's true. Ray Pepper loves King Tut.
having Bill Murray and Steve Martin doing a scene together is just that's awesome.
Born in Arizona, moved to Babylona.
It's true. Huh?
King Tut.
Got a condo.
He
man.
gave his life for tourism.
That's true too.
I think Steve Martin is better in films where it's an ensemble cast.
I agree. Yeah.
That's a good observation. Yeah.
That's true of most. I mean, it's hard to carry a film by yourself. And when you think of most of Bill Murray's greatest roles, or at least most popular, whether it's Ghostbusters, whether it's Caddyshack, he's Stripes.
It's
He's
in
in
the
an
hole.
ensemble. He's got John Candy, or he's got Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd. It definitely makes a difference.
Absolutely true.
Okay, now Eric's going to announce our new way to select movies.
Well, do we want to rate this first?
We will.
Okay.
We're going to get the rating. I'm going to put that out there. Start thinking about your rating of this movie. Put it in the comments.
All right.
1 to 100. While we're waiting for that, because we are in a little bit of a delay,
That is true.
rate this movie if you've seen it.
We're going to rate this movie and we're going to rate one other movie tonight.
Right. We'll do this one first, but I want to talk about something real quick. This is not a commercial, but today, actually yesterday, on October 26th, the 35th anniversary of the Back to the Future came to my house.
Ah.
And this is a limited edition, according to them. I don't have a
4K.
Blu-ray player, but I do have an Xbox I get to play it on. Not that I need it. But it's got digital downloads, and I think all the bonus features, including auditions
Ooh.
of people that are now famous that weren't, like Ben Stiller audition for Marty McFly.
Nice. So you've
But it also came with a really
Christopher
cool.
Walken is Marty McFly.
It fell.
Oh, and now it's
It came
William
with a really
Shatner
cool.
as Doc Brown.
Well, you know who auditioned to be Doc Brown with John Lithgow. I don't know if he's on there or not. So I don't know if you can see this.
Well, he played a mad scientist basically in Buckaroo Banzai, so he could pull it off.
Okay,
So
ruler.
this
Okay,
it's not a ruler. You put the hoverboard in there,
piece of gum.
and
Oh,
it hovers.
oh.
So you can like go like this, be like, wee.
Like a Lego guy. If you had a Lego guy, you could put him on top of him.
Oh, a minifig on there
Right.
would be great.
I-
Well, actually,
Yeah,
they did
it'll
a
hold a little bit of weight.
they
But
did
what's
a
weird is you
Back to
turn it
the
the wrong
Future
way. You ready for this? It just shoots right out of there.
they did a Back to the Future set for Disney Infinity, so there are characters for that.
that is true.
Or was it Disney? No, for Lego. What was the Lego Dimensions? That's
Oh
what it was.
yeah,
Lego Dimensions.
Yes.
So there's definitely a set with Marty on it.
You could get, that's awesome.
Yeah, we also got the Lego DeLorean. We've got two of them. One, I pulled an Eric. I bought two and I didn't open one of them.
I haven't done that in a long time.
NRFP, never removed from
I
package.
really wish I would have done that on some things, but well, that's awesome. That's a very cool. So that came with your Blu-ray 4K set.
Yes. And by the way, the Back to the Future Lego set is now $325
Okay, then.
if you can find it.
But
Here's one for $247.
Dan has one and he'll let it go.
No, I'll wait till it's over 1,000.
Yeah,
Put it in Josh's college fund.
nice. That'll be
All right, so now it's time to rate this movie.
all right. So for reference, we have been rating movies for the past 5 months or so. And obviously the last two on our list are the ones we're going to be rating tonight. We want to rate The Man with Two Brains on a scale of 1 to 100. You can see where other movies that we have either loved or not loved have come up in our ratings. Maybe that will influence your score. Maybe it won't. Maybe you've got your own idea of where The Man with Two Brains lands on this scale. And anybody who's in the comments, Dave, you asked the question of like, my wife watches the movies with me. Does she have a rating? And I mentioned this
I did ask her if she wanted to rate, but she's never felt compelled to.
I asked my wife, I said, you could, if you want to give a rating, I said, you could just jump in the comments. She's like, I'm not watching that show. I'm not guys.
Remember she used to go watch us do stand-up before you guys were married?
Yeah, but I did lots of things that I don't do that since so I can't call her out on that.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
Remember when we didn't have any money?
Right, exactly, right? Yeah, so if you wanted to see me, you had to come to work with me. All right, your mother's kicking this off with a 74.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
All of it would have had an
Embarrassing.
80, but that's okay.
I'm at 70.
You're at 70. I'm at 72.
Eric, I'm going to agree. I'm going to go 73.
73 just to mix it up.
Wow, what a cluster.
Adam Jones giving it a 70. I agree. This is sort of where it sits. I mean, it's very quotable, and so it's not a terrible experience. And it probably, there will be things of this that probably stick with you for a while, but it's definitely a low C. It's definitely a C minus somewhere in there.
It's a passing grade.
Anybody else wants to throw a number in the comments? We're happy to add you into our factor.
And strangely, I felt there's actually weirdly a lot of similarities with this in UHF in the sense that there's great moments scattered amongst some stuff that doesn't really work sometimes.
I thought it was funny that we are rating this in UHF because the funny thing to me, and so obviously if you're in the comments and you want to think about what your score for Weird Al's classic UHF goes for, is that it's so funny to me because UHF, I do remember watching when I was younger way more times than I should have. And so, but they're both really dumb movies. I mean, but at the end of the day, these are dumb movies, with stupid cornball plots.
But they're intended to be.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is for me is that my rating for UHF is going to be much higher.
Well, that's, again, as you've said endless times,
Yes.
it's at a point in your life that it's ingrained in your brain. You have very fond memories of it, and yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So Ray Pepper does not remember UHF, so we're going to wait an hour and a half for him while he
Channel
goes.
53? He doesn't remember Channel 53.
Oh, right.
Well, he's a Seattle guy, so I mean, here.
Oh, okay. That was the
Oh,
other
Harper,
UHF.
Harper, which one are you giving there? Is that are we
Is-
doing UHF or are we doing Man with Two Brains? We moved on? I must have missed it.
We'll give Harper a second. We haven't moved on officially to UHF. People can start thinking about their score for UHF, but we want to make sure. Last call for scores for Man with Two Brains. Man with Two Brains going once.
Well, while we're doing that, though, can I just say one quick thing?
Oh, you can say 3 quick things.
So let me see if I can share this picture.
Sure. Share with us, Dan.
The
Nice to
hotel or the castle. Hold on, let me see. Open link, a new tab. There we go. That they used in this movie. That was supposed to be the castle from Austria. I just pulled this up, and this is quite interesting. I hope this is the right one.
It's now an Airbnb.
That's right, exactly. We'll
No, it's called Castle Green in Pasadena. There's a better picture. It's giving me the same thing. What the?
That is so much better.
Castle Green, is that Seth's brother?
Anyway, this was not only it's the Castle Green Apartments, apparently. This was used in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Murder, She Wrote, The Last Samurai.
Well, it's
The
obviously
Little
striking
Rascals,
architecture,
The
so I
Sting,
can see it. Yeah.
Deja Vu, Sneakers, The Time Machine, Bugsy, Sisters, Bobby, Miracle on 34th Street,
Howard the
Alias,
Duck.
Howard the Duck, I'm sure. Absolutely.
an episode of Dallas, 2 episodes of Dallas, 3 episodes of Dallas. It was used a lot in Dallas.
It's Rick Springfield's summer home.
I did remember what I think was my favorite line from The Man with Two Brains
Okay.
was when he goes, "I never knew it could be like that. So professional." That's a great line.
That's a great line. That's a great line. All right, so we're gonna go. Line.
Now, Harper, you haven't seen either of these movies?
Even with Harper's line, with
You guys, that's fun.
it still keeps Man with Two Brains at a 72.
Okay.
So I'm curious when I'm going to pull this up super quick here. So we'll see where that lands. Man with Two Brains comes in right between Game Night and Midnight Run. Interesting. You know, it makes me wish that Game Night was higher on the list.
Where's Back to the Future 3 on here?
Back to the Future 3 is missing. Did I?
Eric.
Look at this. Huh? Look at that. Yeah, look at that. Well, that was. I'll have to talk to the graphics department.
Someone's going to get it right up from the manager.
That's right. Exactly. You know, these shoddy workers. I can tell you where, man. Actually, can I? Back to the Future 3. It should be right after Spaceballs, actually. So that's what happened here. It belongs right down here under Spaceballs.
Okay.
Inadvertently got deleted from the graphic. It ties with Johnny Dangerously with a 70s.
I do like your Mad 4 world.
I thought that, you know,
Makes it fit.
space. You know, it was.
We did Mad to the Fourth Power, though. That would be a lot of Mads.
That's a
That'd
lot.
be a ton of Mads.
All right, so now we're gonna
Now we're doing UHF.
for UHF. Yeah, if you've never seen UHF, honestly, I do think it's worth a watch. I would recommend it. Well, here's what I've told people about. I was talking to my sister about this actually, whereas like it's you know, Barry Manilow does a medley of hits during his concert, and he says every time before he's about to perform this medley of hits, he goes, "If you've been with me for all the years, you're gonna love this medley. If you've been dragged here tonight, this is gonna be agony." That is what UHF is like, depending on how you feel about Weird Al Yankovic. If you
Well,
love,
the other thing about UHF too is there's the set pieces. like his Rambo spoof and his Raiders of the Lost Ark spoof,
Oh yeah.
just shoved into the movie.
It's just a chance for Weird Al to be Weird Al.
Yeah.
But if you like Weird Al, it's
But
got,
to me, those are the parts that work the least.
and I agree with that, especially in hindsight.
Well, the Raiders worked okay as an opening because that was a cold opening. That's fine. The Rambo one just fell completely flat.
I was forced in. What really I don't enjoy is the Beverly Hillbillies music video shoved into the middle of the movie for no good reason.
Yeah,
You know?
well, it fleshed it out, but yeah.
Yeah.
And that is a good music video. It just doesn't belong in the movie.
Fabulous. But it's like, oh well, it's Weird Al, you know. So we're gonna he's got
On the other hand, the blind guy solving the Rubik's Cube was hysterical.
I agree with that. Harper's asking if she can get a movie on the list, and you're going to get actually that opportunity.
That's coming up, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, once we explain, Eric will go over this new system that starts not next week.
I think we're going to start collecting some suggestions.
Oh, we'll start collecting tonight.
Yeah.
But we're not going to choose next week's movie this week.
Choose next week's. We've already got next week's figured out. So we need a rating for UHF.
I'm going one higher than The Man with Two Brains. So I'm going 71.
Ooh,
It's just a little bit better.
a little bit better. I understand. That seems fair. For me, it's not 100. I'll relieve all of you who are worried that I might rate UHF.
Well, it has Victoria Jackson in it. That alone pulls it down.
It's very true. But I will give it a solid 85. For me, it is a definitely
You went solid 85. Adam went solid 90.
Woo.
Ooh, that's awesome. I love Adam for that. That's amazing. Good job.
I think it's a solid 83.
83. Okay.
I'm not sure why these are all solid.
I don't know why this. I felt solid meant like it was just right in the middle of the B.
Yeah, my 71 was rather mushy. So
it was a little more mushy. All right, so we've got four. We got 4 or 5. Four entries to vote for UHF. We need to. If anybody else has got a number for UHF, we'll calculate you into the mix. All right, so we want to, while we wait to see if anybody else wants to throw out a number for UHF, I will explain our crazy new movie choosing technique that will blow people's minds. But I think we'll give everyone a chance to participate evenly, and it'll add a little more randomness to the movie choices. So what we're going to do is basically every week we're going to collect one suggestion from everybody who's either watching or participating on part of the show. So everybody gets to throw out a movie. We're going to throw that onto the wheel of film, and we are going to then spin the wheel of film and pick a movie. And then that movie will come off to be watched, but all of the remaining suggestions will remain. The following week, we will add another round where people will throw out another movie to throw in. And we will just keep building this wheel up until we've got hundreds of movies on the wheel. We'll keep spinning, and who knows what we will watch. So the only thing we will ask is that the movie is a comedy and something that is reasonably available. We're not obviously, it doesn't necessarily have to be something everybody owns, but hopefully it's nothing like, I don't know, super obscure, like, you got to find a bootleg copy at the bottom of the Game Exchange. Hopefully something that's relatively, even if it means that somebody has to rent it for $2.99, I think is fine.
Now, I wonder about something in a legal standpoint. We could do this show offline.
Do like watching parties?
I mean, literally, if we find a movie, we could go on Zoom.
Yeah.
We could go on here. We could put the movie up. Just don't broadcast it. And we could all sit and watch a movie together.
We could definitely do a watch parties. I think we could definitely offer a watch party, especially if the movie is hard to find.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's just a thought.
It's definitely a great thought. So here's the challenge for everybody in the comments, and of course the two of you and myself as well, is to pick one movie you would like to see to add to the wheel. Just one. And we will add that to the wheel for tonight. We're not going to spin the wheel unless we just want to show off how it works. We're going to thank the fine people at pickerwheel.com
which I'm sure are Russian hackers, but that's okay.
Yeah, they're collecting all our personal data while you spin.
As long as we keep them busy for the next week, we'll be fine.
So Harper, I'm going to add Spies Like Us to the wheel.
Spies Like Us, great movie.
Our first recommendation to be added to the wheel. And we're gonna ask if anybody else has a movie. I'm gonna add Clerks. I'm throwing Clerks onto the movie. I've never watched the movie Clerks, and I've always wanted to. So
Probably be the lowest budget movie we've seen so far.
that is also true. So here comes
Adam, you beat me to it.
Ooh. Always go with Fletch 2, Dan.
Oh, no. That'll be your bad.
That's what I was going to
sequel.
say. So now I need to think again.
You watch City Slickers 2 and Fletch 2?
I did watch City Slickers just 2 days ago.
The sequel's bad.
Thought it was super weird. He's like, that wasn't half bad.
City Slickers is good. City Slickers 2 is very much like Arthur 2, where they realized they killed off the most popular character in the first movie, so they had to figure out a way to bring him back.
Absolutely. So if anybody else wants to throw out a movie idea,
I'm debating.
I'm going to go with Austin Powers.
Oh, the original International Man of Mystery.
Yeah, I'll go with the original.
You don't want Fat Bastard?
Although I do. I mean, I love all three of them.
They're excellent. Yeah.
So maybe next time I'll do Austin Powers. I mean, each week we get another slice of the pie.
Exactly right. That's
right, I'm going with What's Up, Doc.
What's Up, Doc? Is that the Marx Brothers?
Nope. That's Barbara Streisand.
Oh.
Chris
Ryan
Christopherson.
O'Neal, directed, I believe, by Bogdanovich. A slapstick comedy.
I'm not familiar.
1972 film. Wow.
How about that? And then my sister Margaret throws out It's Complicated. We'll get that on the list. So I will be watching that one way or another. That's all.
Depending how the wheel goes.
That's right. Exactly. Right. So if anybody else wants to throw in a movie, I will we'll take a look at hey, look at that. That's not what I wanted to show. There we go. Here's our thank you to Picker Wheel again for their lovely
Wow, that font is going to get really small when we get 100 or so in there.
That's the plan, right? That is the plan. I don't know what the limit is, but we'll find out. And if we have to create multiple wheels, we'll figure that out as we go. But yeah, the wheel spins and we'll end up with a movie choice. And so we are looking forward to that. But as said, so we want to talk a little bit about what we will be watching since we're not watching any of these fine movies. We want to talk a little bit about what we're going to watch next week.
So, okay, do we say election or the campaign?
We definitely said election.
Someone suggested election in the comments,
Right.
which is the Reese Witherspoon, Matthew Broderick film.
Okay. And then what was the next one we were going to do? Was it Dave?
I think it was Dave because
What
the
about the
American
campaign
President
with
isn't as much a
Will-
comedy.
What about the Will Ferrell, Zach Galifianakis movie, The Campaign?
Oh yeah, I have that actually on my TiVo, so I haven't watched it yet. But
Because then you've got election and campaign.
I like it. The campaign, the election. Why not? That sounds like a perfect matchup.
All right.
I think we're set then. So that's for next week. So since we have all the votes tabulated for UHF, we're looking at 82 is where that
surprisingly high.
That's right where it belongs. Tied.
Office Space and Beetlejuice.
Space. Interesting, right?
Well, ahead of Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah, that is surprising. But I think court of public opinion.
Adam, you can't add another one. Adam tried to add Mooseport.
Okay, well you have to wait till next week. You can actually throw that onto the big wheel list for next week. Yeah, we don't need
definitely get a Wes Anderson one on there one of these weeks.
We don't. Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
So that sort of was my thoughts. Like, let's start collecting these as a group, and leave it up to the fine people at wheel.com to tell us what we should watch. But actually, I think we've got some excellent choices on there. I'm excited to.
So, did the rest of your family watch either UHF or Dead Man with Two Brains with you, Eric?
My wife watched The Men with Two Braids.
Okay.
And while she remembered it fondly from her childhood, she was like,
It did not live up to its memory.
and again, she thought it was all of me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That might have to
That
be
Kathleen Turner and Lily Tomlin are the same person?
I think it's just the title throws everybody off.
Mom, are you still watching? If so, will all of me be your suggestion?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, your mom didn't get a spot on the wheel.
Yeah, Ray Pepper, you haven't done a suggestion. We got Harper's, that's great. Got Margaret's. Anyone else?
Yeah, this is your chance.
Kathy Ladder, you still watching? Do you have a movie you'd like to throw into the mix?
Yeah, we're happy to keep adding to the wheel.
I'll log in as one of my fake accounts to make more than one
There
suggestion.
you go. Well, I was gonna say if somebody does choose to watch this after it's live, if you throw a movie in the comments, we'll add you to the wheel.
If we see it.
And if it's appropriate.
I can look.
No, you know what? I'm gonna overrule that. I think you have to watch a show live to make a suggestion.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Era is trumping Dan, or Dan is trumping Era.
You know,
That's I get one of those a year. I just used it.
Don't be rude.
Dan loves to trump people.
So professional.
So okay,
Bullshit.
Good.
program note.
Yes.
I always like when they say that. So we have another show on Friday.
Yes, we will.
It is the day before Halloween.
That is
The
also
last show before the election.
Last show before the election. I think we should. Everybody should wear costumes if you want to be on the show.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Some sort of costume, because we're not going to get to go to a Halloween party.
That is true.
So I think this should be the first annual Eridan Halloween extravaganza.
And should eat candy the entire time.
Yes.
You know.
So Eric, can you make some graphics for that for next week?
Nice. All right, I'll put a note into the graphics department.
After he's finishing firing the guy who missed Back to the Future 3.
Yeah, seriously. You know, I don't know if
Yeah, it's a union gig.
Yeah, I have to file a grievance with the union.
I already busted out my blonde wig. I don't even imagine what I could wear. If only I had more.
Well, you could just get brown bangs and come as Peter Tork. You could.
Nice. There you go. The ghost of Peter Tork.
Yes, the ghost of Peter Tork.
Yes, that would be the goal for this week.
There you go. I like that.
We'll have a costume contest.
We'll have. Oh, it's going to be a contest, and what do they win, Dan?
Nothing.
A subscription to wheelpicker.com.
They get to suggest 2 movies next week.
Ooh, there you go. Right, there you go. Now you're thinking.
So now when we do the double feature Mondays for like December, when we do one,
I think we can spin twice, or
it's been twice.
we can decide. Because we've talked about whether we want to take, a special week or something like that to do something different. I think, if we decide that first week of the month the double feature comes from elsewhere, we can decide that, or we can try to spin the wheel twice if there's nothing appropriate. Because I do think sometime in December we probably need to do some sort of holiday movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's some great holiday comedies.
Yes.
Christmas Vacation, probably.
Elf.
And Elf. There you go. There's our holiday one.
We just do a Christmas wheel. We might have to do a
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Yeah.
So the fine people at Wheel Pickers, let me know that it's like a picker wheel, that they can do multiple lists. Sign up for an account today at wheelwicker.com.
But wait, can it?
If you need a wheel, you need to be picked. Wheelpicker.com.
If you're ever
Ask for it by name.
The Price is Right.
That's right, exactly.
And Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's pretty.
Well, I think that's a good. I mean, we don't have to go a whole hour if we don't want to.
We
good.
certainly had enough time so we went over.
Yes, that is true. No, I think we're good. I think we're all set. We've got some wonderful suggestions. Thanks everybody for hanging out and participating. I think we'll have some updated incorrect graphics for next week.
I am going to put a black and white movie on the wheel too.
Ooh.
Not, I know we did Young Frankenstein already, but I mean,
And we've done
one
the
when they had no
Bellboy.
choice but to make it black and white.
Ah,
We've done 2 black and white movies.
Oh, that's true.
that is very.
Yes, Adam, Rafi and I are planning on driving for the show on Saturday.
Is Clerks black and white?
There are parts.
Was Clerks black and white? I think Clerks is black and white. Or is it Mallrats? It's black and white. One of Kevin Smith's movies is black and white.
One of his early films is, I think it's Clerks, but I'm not certain.
The Dan Rosenberg comedy special on Amazon is black and white.
Yes, yes, it is.
Entertainment, black and white. I would highly recommend that.
Yeah, the
Already
film was
seen
shot in black and white and roughly edited to a very modest budget of $27,000.
Jeez.
That was Clerks, not the comedy special. The comedy special budget was
Awesome. All right. As Adam Jones is already thinking about Christmas movies, he's ready to throw a Jingle All the Way.
The Night Before. Yeah, there's some good ones.
There's some really good ones. We might end up doing a couple of weeks of holiday movies. We'll see. We'll figure out what December looks like. And but yeah, awesome.
And get into the whole debate: is Home Alone a Christmas movie?
Home
Oh,
Alone.
Home Alone is definitely a Christmas movie.
Yeah, so is Lethal or Die Hard is not, according to Bruce Willis.
Yeah, but Bruce Willis, there's a lot of things according to Bruce Willis not go by.
According to Bruce Willis, he can sing.
Well, yeah, I was
Coming right up.
a big fan of his debut album. But that aside, I think
You were also a big fan of the Sgt. Pepper soundtrack, so
I still am. I think if there is a decent amount of Christmas music in your movie, that makes it more of a Christmas movie. If it happens over Christmas and you include Christmas music in the soundtrack, both of which Home Alone and Die Hard have quite a bit of Christmas music in it, that's a Christmas movie.
Was it Home Alone or Home Alone 2?
Home Alone. Home Alone. I mean, Home Alone 2, I think, may take place at Christmas time as well. I can't remember. I haven't seen Home Alone 2 in forever.
Home Alone 2 is the one with Trump's in.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yeah, we will not be watching that one.
He's in it for about 10 seconds.
Let's put that on the wheel. But no, I feel like if you do have a soundtrack that I mean, there's they recorded Home Alone on Christmas for the Home Alone movie soundtrack. There's actually a Christmas song that is well known that is
Is the Star Wars Christmas special a comedy?
Ooh.
but is it a movie? It's
Is
more
it a TV movie or is it a TV special?
That is a good question. That is a good question. That might have to be a watch along. That might have to be Saturday afternoon. Everybody dials in at a certain time. Awesome.
All right.
Especially as the winter weather
As
sets in.
mentioned, the John McClane Die Hard battery commercial.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Wait,
Yeah,
he
we could
yeah, he
probably
does
play
for
that.
Advanced Auto Parts, yeah. Mhm.
I missed that.
Yep.
I think we could play it. Hold on a second.
Well, you're at the end. If they kick you off now, who cares?
That's true.
Plus, it's a commercial. They want people to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a movie trailer.
That's right. Which will probably get us kicked off too.
It's long.
Really? Or is that the ad?
Well, maybe it's not. It's hard to tell because there's so many.
It's just on a loop.
All right, here we go. You ready for it, ladies and gentlemen?
Yippee-ki-yay.
He doesn't say that, which would be great if he did.
You should.
Let's do a little quick share screen. Do that. Share the audio. Bada bing, bada boom. And here we go.
All right.
Well, you wanted the quiet life, John. Dead batteries, empty streets.
Video.
Welcome to Advanced Auto Parts.
I need one of those. Is there another way out? You kidding me?
Did you know we have free installation?
I got it.
Argon? You still driving this thing?
You're getting blood on the seats, man.
Pretty big budget.
Man, I just paid this up.
Once you're Bruce Willis.
Getting out of here, buddy. Just gotta change my battery. Night, pal.
Well, no, he's not going to give us deposit.
I gotta get out. Yeah, baby.
Happy trails. Get out of here. Keep this car moving. Hey, that's my line.
Die Hard batteries.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Have you ever been in a building that you had vents big enough to crawl through? It's such a staple of adventure and science fiction movies. These giant vents that people crawl through,
Absolutely.
and
What-
that are strong enough to support a person's weight.
Right. Absolutely.
So obviously, Die Hard was the Sears brand of batteries, and Sears is pretty much dead.
Mhm.
So it looks like Advanced Auto Parts grabbed the trademark, and now they're going to carry the Die Hard batteries.
Yep, just like Ace Hardware and either Lowe's or Home Depot, I can't remember which, has Craftsman tools now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an investment. Just, I mean, how much you pay Bruce Willis to come and do all that?
That's true. He's not doing that cheap. Well, you know what was interesting? What was the commercial I was watching the other night? Ah, shoot, I can't remember what it's for. It was just last night. The voice on it is clearly the voice of Scarlett Johansson.
Really?
Yes, she's
Wow.
doing a commercial for something right now. You never see her, but I recognize that voice.
Interesting.
Next time I hear it, I have to remember to write it down so I can tell you what it was for.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So now was
All right.
this commercial? Because I swore I heard "Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee" in the background. Just saying.
I heard "Wonderful Christmas Time" because it's just one note.
You know,
I need more cowbell.
definitely coming this December is we're going to have a conversation about Christmas music. So prepare yourself.
All right. So Friday, put on a costume.
Yes.
It will be the Halloween costume party of the century.
Hand out candy to everybody in the comments. So
Yep.
hang out. It'll be a fun time.
I'm gonna get a bag of candy and eat it. I'll eat an entire bag the whole hour or so.
I'm gonna ship my chocolate fountain over to you and some Pop-Tarts.
I'm just
I'll
going to have
play
an
that
apple
video
and
of me
some
eating the
popcorn
chocolate.
balls.
There you go.
Yeah,
I don't
just an
think
apple and
Pop-Tarts
popcorn
can
balls.
claim
on my-
that. All right.
All right.
That's it. We made it to 8 o'clock.
Note. Yay! Good night.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks. Good night.